Lucas, and this is my first video update. It's going to be something that's exclusive to patrons, but for the time being, I haven't quite set up my Vimeo subscription, so this is going on YouTube. Everyone's gonna get to see it. What? Okay, so yeah, no, I'm working on it though. But speaking of patrons, huge shout out to Miss Song. You've always been supportive. You've always encouraged artistic expression. You've always made me feel welcome in your home and your classroom. And I want to thank you so much for continuing that. Especially, you have seen me change. You have seen me change from whatever that little boy me was into this creature you see before you. So thank you. Your support is so appreciated, and I'm really grateful. Thanks. So what have I been up to? There's been mostly working on the novel. Last Saturday I attended another very productive session of Shut Up and Write at the Atwater Library with the Quebec Writers Federation. Just always a joy to sit at that round table they have with the laptop keys clacking away and everyone sort of working on their own things, excitedly discussing what they've been up to during the 5-minute breaks. I find often I write things and then I'll turn to Lisanne. Lisanne is also quite frequently at Shut Up and Write, and I'll say to her, I don't know if what I'm writing works, but I wrote it, so we'll deal with that later. Huge important thing, I have broken 50,000 words finally, so a huge chunk of my novel is, the rough draft. Let's never forget, it's a rough draft. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I feel like I'm closing in on the end there. There are only 7 chapters that I have outlined. Of course, with outlines, chapters can be added, chapters can be removed, but it's a lot of great progress, and I'm very excited to finish that rough draft. My goal is, once the rough draft is finished, I'm going to put it away. Not look at it for 3 to 6 months. I think would be a reasonable delay of time to sort of distance myself from my work and then come at it with new eyes to bring it to a second draft. And in that time, I have other projects that I want to be working on. There's my fantasy novel that I keep thinking about. It's been in the back of my head. I started writing that when I was about 14, scribbling in notebooks. Miss On, do you remember that? Have you seen those? I remember at speech tournaments just, I've got an idea, and having to scribble it down. And the thing is, I don't know where those notebooks have gone. I may have gotten rid of them. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to taking a break from Claire, having finished the rough draft, and being able to come back to it later. So that's something very exciting to me. 50,000 words. Actually, I'm at 51,126. To be precise. I like to post little images to Instagram every now and then. There's photos that I take with my phone and my laptop, which is silly, but Scrivener has this excellent tool where it tells you where you are in the manuscript and breaks it down into session targets. So those are on my Instagram when I'm proud of what I'm doing. If it's been a while since I've posted one, chances are I'm ashamed of how little writing I'm doing, and I'm trying to get back on it. The thing is, the brain is a fabulous and strange organ. So sometimes it's more difficult to produce the writing because I'm panicking about employment, money, things like that. So I get stuck. I call it getting caught in the loop with my cell phone. I wrote a poem about it. I don't know how I feel about my poetry just yet, but another bit of news. There's another session of Breathing Space coming up this Sunday that I'm going to be attending, and if there's a spot left to read, I'm going to read my poetry in front of strangers, which I don't think I've ever done. So that should be an interesting experience and hopefully a rewarding one. So, again, huge thank you to Ms. San. Your continued support means everything. Thank you to all of my patrons, all 3 of you. Hopefully we can grow that number in the coming days. But thanks for your support. Thanks for being along for this ride. And I will keep you posted with new info.